Alright guys, fuck's sake, make up your fucking mind, weather, thank you. What the fuck? I mean, what time is it? Right, it's 10:15 in the morning. Well, and you know, it's fucking cold. It's actually like cold. But in a couple of hours from now, it will be so fucking hot that you won't be able to breathe. But you know, that's climate change for you. Yeah. Anyway, I'm here. Obviously. Though sometimes I'm beginning to feel, am I really here? Who am I? Am I real? Oh, I don't know, guys. You know, I had some more insights and something just told me to sit down and do a video. So here I am. But I'm not so sure that I will be doing this video. Well, you'll know, because this will either be on YouTube or it won't be. As simple as that, really. I'm not fucking sure that I'll be able to articulate what I want to convey to you all. And I also know that not everyone's going to get it. I know this because years ago, when I was in my early stages of awakening, people talked to me about very profound and very meaningful, esoteric, mystical stuff, and I didn't get it, you know? But I get it now. And I need to get out of my wounded healerness, whatever, right? Behavior, still the remnants of it within me. I need to disentangle from that because I do not have any control here. See, a part of being the wounded healer is that you want to keep on believing that you're in control and that you can red pill other people, that you can somehow inject truth into their consciousness, but you can't. It doesn't work that way. It's completely and utterly pointless to think that way. And the only reason we do it, the only reason I do it, the only reason it's a program is because of a sense of hopelessness and despair, which is all programming. It really fucking is. The only consciousness that we have any kind of reason, in fact, red pilling is our own consciousness, you know, and that's the fucking truth. All souled beings, be they normies or soul travelers, will get home, will make it home in the end, but it's entirely their own responsibility. How, when, all of that. How, when, where, what, blah, whatever, right? And we're all very, very different. We're all differently attuned and differently expressive. I have noticed this. So that you may think you have something in common with somebody online, but you could meet in person and realize that actually, no, we clash and we're not and we don't, and it doesn't work. Not in a toxic, bad way, but just in a way that, no, this isn't meant to be. You're good and pure and true and a soul traveler. I'm good and pure and true and I'm a soul traveler, but I'm meant to be going into myself over here, doing it in this particular sort of way, and you are meant to go into yourself in that way over there, doing it over there in your particular way. We are all super fucking unique. Yes, we are meant to connect. I'm not saying we're meant to be isolated, I'm not saying that either, but I think that connection, this, let's call it the gathering, will happen at this particular point, a crucial point of, I don't know, something. I can't really put it into words. I could start going on about timelines, but I'm not so keen on that terminology because I don't believe in time at all. But there is coming a type of convergence of these things that people often refer to as timelines. I call them bandwidths. But yes, a convergence is going to happen. I can see it in my mind's eye. And this will be a point where many of us will connect. But in what way, or what it will look like, or what the ramifications of that will be, I do not know. There. Felt like saying that. I wanted to talk a little bit about recognizing toxic people, right? Now, because this is very important, because something that's become blatantly obvious, no doubt to me, but also to many of you, I'm sure, is the fact that we are from the get-go heavily programmed to lose ourselves, meaning to completely not trust our instincts at all, to in fact disregard our instincts, our intuition, our gut instincts, our innate fucking knowing, right? Which is a part of our magic. There's far more to our magic, okay? It's vast and it's incredible, but we haven't as yet experienced that. But we will. But part of the magic is high levels of discernment, which isn't a mind thing so much as an intuitive knowing. And that's been taken away from us, you see, because we've been bludgeoned with, hold on a second guys, right, with the notion, I know, because they taught me this in school, there's no such thing as intuition, and there's, you go and you're nothing and you don't know anything and whatever, and everything has been taken away from us in that sense, and has been replaced with trust the science, and all that, or trust God, or trust the expert, or the teachers, or authority, or the government, or whatever. In fact, trust evil to guide you and show you the way, and disregard everything on the internal plane. Just disregard it because it's all a lie. Wow. No wonder we have such trouble getting back to ourselves. But we do get back to ourselves. Because, you really have to... this is very important, getting back to yourself. This is a major part of it. When you come across people that are not very awake, like, say, Greg, the bike guy, and warm... And yeah, no harm, I couldn't feel any harm, no intentional of harm, and just not awake. He's a normie, but he is sold, but he's going to live and he's going to die on this level of the Matrix, and he will have that NDE business, no doubt, whatever, something along those lines, and they'll send him back here, and yeah, it is a soul trap until it isn't, until there's no more need for someone to have that experience, but until then it serves a fucking purpose. It can be both good and bad at the same time, dualities, paradoxical, and so forth and so on, but he will have that experience until he has his exit life, where he will become a soul traveler. When that happens, who knows? Not up to me, not my business, don't care. Right? But that was all good, no problem. Then you can come across a normie who feels off, who feels toxic. Because, this person, man, woman, or, I don't know, fucking, your non-binary fucking normie, whatever, they are heavily invested in the mind control. They may have been heavily vaccinated as children and they're very, very toxic. And they're heavily invested in the whole woke thing. And they're here to experience something and be that. And they're very toxic, and you can feel it's demonic. They have demonic energy because that is an experience that they want to have. It doesn't mean they're demonic, though they are, I would call it, possessed. It doesn't mean they're evil, but their intentions have been hijacked. So your instincts will say, okay, yeah, I can tell this person is soul, because there will be meaning. They will do what they do because they believe it is meaningful. It is not, and it's putrid and it's evil. But they do it because they believe it's meaningful. It's like your. There are people. See, evil's very clever. It's, if you think about the whole, say, Marxist thing and collectivism, a lot of people fall for that type of shit because they believe it's a good thing. They believe in helping everybody else. Here we go again with the whole wounded healer thing. You know, it's very Marxist, actually. It's very collectivism. We must help everybody. We are all one. You know, that sort of shit. It's definitely part of it. So the wounded healer is Marxism. But they do it because they care and because they're basically good. And they are sold. But they've been hijacked. Their good intentions are hijacked by the dark side. So you get all that. You get people that are awakening, even people that do inner work and are awakening, but and you know them for some time, and you can have a meaningful exchange, and all of a sudden it all goes tits up because something dark within them, I don't know, is dislodged. They go into a very dark recess, perhaps, of their psyche as they're doing their healing work, and they're temporarily lost, and shit like that happens as well. That's happened to me. I've been lost in the hinterlands of my psyche, and I've become just, I guess, quite toxic, even in my behavior for some time. I mean, I always work it out. It never stays like that for very long. But you have to own it. You have to apologize for your behavior. Like with my friends, I have to say, look, mate, I'm really fucking sorry. I really got it wrong. You know, and that's fine because with friends, you know, that's fine. But it's duality. You know, there is good, there is evil, there's extreme evil, there's extreme good, and there's everything in between. But it's all intertwined and intermingled. And you're here. And you are thinking, well, how the fuck will I navigate through that fucking distorted chaos and insanity that is this experience now? And I said it before in one of my videos where it's all about your feelings. Your feelings never lie. They will tell you what's what. When somebody is not well disposed towards you, as in malevolent, if they're an NPC, and actually I'm not going to use that word NPC anymore because it's wrong, because they're demons and that's all there is to it. So from now on I talk about demons. Demons are not souls. Demons are basically what we formerly referred to as NPCs. Okay, so from now on I'm really just going to call them what they fucking well are, and that is demons. You will never ever ever get a good feeling from a demon. Never. It will always feel wrong in subtle ways or very overt ways and anything in between, but it will never feel warm and it will never feel good. And that is always the case with demons. Always. And also, you know, you can detect all these sketchy elements in their behavior. They will say this and then will do that, and it's all bullshit. It's bullshit and it's garbage, and that's that. But when you're dealing with normies, and by the way, there are people who are sort of awake. I mean, I posted something on my community page this morning. Oh, by the way, guys, for those of you who do not know, I've been posting stuff on my community page. I haven't done this before because I didn't feel like doing it, but now I do. And I've been posting stuff on there. And there is a link at the top to a really nice little interview by a couple of Aussie blokes with a Rumble channel called Cafe Locked Out. It's a pretty good channel. They go around the whole of Australia, or Oz, looking for the wizard, whatever, but you know, and they've interviewed a shitload of people, and it's very grassroots. There's something happening in Australia. I am not one of these people that is perennially plugged in and transfixed by all the shit that is happening in the world. I keep my fingers on positive developments that will be like the stars in the sky, the sort of light that will infuse all the different timelines. This is not one thing we're talking about here. This is a quantum thing. There's something that happens over there on that timeline will give rise. It's like a domino effect. Everything affects everything else. Everything is connected, right? The bigger picture, right? So Cafe Locked Out on Rumble, and there's a link at the very top. If you go into my community page. Now this guy, Hoot, used to be a pilot for Qantas, and he gave it all up. And he is what I'd class as a normie, alright? Because he doesn't understand about the higher stuff that a soul traveller intrinsically gets, you know, intuits. But he is nevertheless a fantastic bloke, incredibly courageous and honourable, and he has integrity, you know. And I posted this interview. I know I've got quite a few Aussie subbies, so you guys, you might want to watch that, because it's good and it's life-giving and it is positive and it's robust and it has integrity and it has courage and it's something that is nurturing, you know. Because when I hear all these negative fucking people, and here we go again with this, your intuition and your emotions will always tell you what you're dealing with. I come across people in the world around me, or online, or wherever, however, that are inherently negative. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they're demons, though that can be the case. It can mean they are people with souls, normies, because they're not awake to going within and doing the work. I can always tell when somebody is genuinely doing the work. They might think they're doing the work because they don't quite understand how to do the inner work as yet. They may at some point understand how to do that, and that's great. That's nothing to do with me, none of my business, not my responsibility. But they are mired in darkness and they are addicted to fear. Because I'll get to this in a bit. But again, I always get that feeling of a draining sensation, like, oh, and it's like, whoa, get away from me. Get away from me. I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's not a personal thing. I'm not saying I hate you or I wish you harm or anything like that. Not at all. If you're a soul being, you will make it home eventually. If you're still not awake enough to see la 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 la. I used to be addicted to fear porn. I used to be transfixed. You know, I used to listen to all this shit. And I mean, it made me think about Max Igan actually, and what a total arsehole that guy is, because there's this man who still lives in Australia, who poses a major impediment to the works of evil. I mean, he was threatened the fuck out of by Qantas, but he wouldn't back down. He was threatened by quite a few governmental bodies, shall we say, on account of his speaking out and his grassroots work and his influence, and he has a lot of influence, you know, but he stood his ground. And he is a man of his word, and he has that integrity. And as Max Igan said, oh, I had to leave them because they threatened me. And I'm like, you don't threaten the powers that be. Not really, you know. I know there's some people that really like Max Deacon, and hey, that's fine, no problem, because if you like that and you want to listen to that, then it's right for you at this moment in time. Go ahead. I used to listen to him years ago. But when the COVID thing happened and it was all fear, and oh, they're doing this, and oh, you must listen because they're doing that, and they're planning this for you, and they're planning that for you. I listened to maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and then I thought, you know what? It's the catch-22, same information of fear. You know? The minute I am aware of something that may or may not be true, I filter it always. My intuition tells me that's nothing to worry about, that's not going to happen. Turns out I'm always right, because the threats and the fear porn that dominated the internet at the onslaught of the fucking covert agenda, I mean, it was everywhere. I mean, they said they said a couple of years back that, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to starve us all the food's going to disappear and empty shelves, and there were really good CSI images of empty shelves and people panicking in the supermarket. Well, never happened, and still those people are making those same videos saying it's going to happen, you know. It's all fear. I came across a video on YouTube. I didn't watch it. It comes up on my feed. Mr. Matrix likes to do this, you know, and it was like a chilling message from Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. And it had like 500,000 fucking views after having been posted on YouTube, which allowed it to be posted. That should tell you something. Like fucking 10 minutes or something. I don't know. It might have been longer, probably a couple of hours, but whatever, you know. And this tells me everything I need to know. It's like it's a piece of garbage. People mired in the negativity, and they cannot as yet get out of it. They feel that by doing that, by immersing themselves in that, by allowing themselves to be transfixed by that, we must listen to Klaus, tell us what he's got planned for us, oh, and be afraid. What are you going to do about it? Do you think that you watching that is going to make a fucking blind bit of difference? Of course it bloody isn't. What it will do, well, I say actually it might make a difference, because what you're doing is you are feeding the Matrix a shitload of loosh, and you're empowering it. You just at this moment in time still don't understand or don't have the confidence to take that leap of faith, knowing that what you choose to create will be. Right? Because it's your consciousness, yours. But you don't realize that. You think you're powerless, and that you need to watch the example of what's going on, but you're not coming from a place of power or sovereignty at all. You think it's something that just happens to you, and well, maybe, hopefully, maybe somebody will come and save us. You need to save yourself. It's your consciousness. Take it back. You know, what was it that guy said? Who invented acid? Well, he didn't invent it. I think the Nazis invented it. I can't remember what his name is. Tune out, you know, like walk the fuck away from it. But people can't seem to do that. And people like that who are perennially tuned into that have an effect on those of us who are rising above it, who are taking back our power. And it feels like a ball and chain, like dirty, sludgy energy, dragging you down. Because it's all a choice. I spoke about this in my last video. It's about a choice. And what... Oh, it's a very rambly video. But you know, what I'm experiencing today, for example, is very apt. Because I feel that push today very strongly. It started yesterday and it was very adrenaline fueled. This is what actually leading me into what I was going to talk about. Highly strung, antagonistic, crank, high-pitched sounds in my ears, very high frequency, high, not of the good kind, but like a dog whistle, like, but cranky, trying to penetrate my shield, my aura, hook into me. You need to be afraid. You promised me you'd be afraid. You need to go on the David Icke website, go there, look at, there's a video, they're going to do this to us, you need to watch that. And it's adrenaline and it's anxiety. I've got a few comments. Was it Fallen Starseer? Hi. Avalon Mist as well. You replied to that comment about the fear and the anxiety has been through the fucking roof. Well, same here. Same here. And this whole thing about you need to be nice, you need to keep the peace, you need to do whatever it takes to keep everybody happy. You need to do whatever it takes to make Mr. Matrix happy. You need to stay in the mold that you were programmed to exist in. And if you don't, something bad is going to happen. You will be punished. You know, I call it the uncomfortable comfort zone, guys. It's crank, distortion, and it is a state of no relaxation, no peace, no calm, no fucking tranquility ever. Have you ever noticed how people on the external, how they relax? They take something, they drink something, they smoke something, people, or you know, whatever. There are so many, but very few people, in fact, meditation, they use meditation, but not for the right reasons, and it's all trauma suppressing, you know, but coping strategies. Nobody I've ever met has been able to completely relax naturally. And anyone that says they do and can effortlessly is a fucking liar, or you're just a fucking demon. The demons are always happy. Well, not happy, but they pretend to be happy because they're nothing really. They don't really think and they don't really feel. They're just fake images of the Matrix. You know, mundane reality reinforcement. Oh, it's wonderful, we're all happy, you know, but it's bullshit. Anyway, I don't want to divert over there because, like, well, and I'm very tired. I'm always really tired, oh my god, but the last few nights I have not really had any good sleep at all, and like, okay, to get back on track, yeah, the cranky, adrenaline-fueled sense of anxiety, restlessness, and this very, very, very rabid onslaught of, I want you to watch fear porn, doom porn. I want you to get upset about this and about that and about that, and I want you to focus on, and it wants you in that negative, self-defeating, cranky state where it's like, okay, I need to distract myself from this because it feels so fucking awful. Let's go and be the wounded healer again and do that. Let's go focus over there, or let's watch some, or like whatever. When in fact what you need to do, and what I'm doing, what I'm choosing to do, apart from making this video, is to just stop and listen, pay attention, be the witness this. What does this really feel like? What does this energetic, what does this thing want? What does it really, really want from me? Why am I feeling this way? What is it saying to me? If it had a voice, if it had words, what is it saying to me? Listen, feel, decode it. What, you know, what's this saying? What does it want from me? And you'll soon work out that what it wants is for you to stay in this broken, distorted state that you have lived your entire life in, but didn't even know. Oh, I'm just going to completely and utterly disregard my gut instincts, my intuition, my fucking magic, my psychic abilities, my self-love, my self-care, my self-responsibility, my self-trust. Yeah, I'm just gonna totally fucking no, because that's all bullshit, because Mr. Matrix taught me that's all a pack of lies and I mustn't trust it. I mustn't trust myself. I can't trust myself because I'm just so, Now, I'm just going to be the lunatic and I'm going to fix and try and fix it, and I'm going to watch all the fear porn because that's what's really going on, and look what they're doing to us, and look what they've got planned for us. Oh, that's what I need to do. That's what Mr. Matrix wants me to do. And when I do that, I start to feel a little bit better. I'm still in a terrifying state, but somehow, you see, Mr. Matrix gives you that little dopamine click, for being a good girl and a good boy and being afraid. Yes, well done. Oh, that's really what that's about, guys. Try and swim against the current there and say, no, I ain't doing that. Fuck you, Mr. Matrix. You have to, when you go through that, when you're aware of that, when you see and feel, and this, I'm trying to put this into words, but I know full well that I cannot really put this into words. Not really. No. But those of you who are there and who are going through this on whatever level, because there are different levels. I've been through this before, but on another lesser level, like on the spiral path, but you revisit shit again and again and again. And I'm now on this level where I'm revisiting it, and it's fucking get this shit out of me. It's like a computer that is infected to the max with malware and spyware and all kinds of fucking shit and viruses, and that totally clogs it up and makes it function really slowly, right? And that needs to, so this is your recovery. You know how you do a recovery on a computer, right? That is what this is. And every time you do that, it really, really hurts, and it's torturous, and the experience of it feels like you're being fucking, I don't know, like ripped into a million little pieces. But it is necessary. It is liberating, guys. You are healing. You are being set free. Your true self is at the helm of this, and your true self always knows exactly what to do. Because we have been fucking batteries, guys, and that, if you are going through what I am describing here, alright, then you are aware of what it feels like to be a battery and to be in the control of Mr. Matrix and the Black Hand, you know, the Dark Generator. Right? You need to carry on being toxic to yourself, and you need to behave toxically. You have always behaved this way, and we want you to carry on behaving this way. Don't you dare leave this dreadful, distorted, uncomfortable comfort zone and take a leap of faith. Don't you dare. Because you get glimpses of what it is to live a liberated selfhood, you know. You get those glimpses as you do your sacred work here and there, every now and then. An hour, a day, a week. A glimpse, I said. You know, the fullness of I am is something like the light reset. It all comes down to the choice, and people that commit and do their sacred work, people with true integrity and honor and courage, always have a good feel, warm, harmless. I always know you don't want to harm me, you're not going to harm me. Because you are honest, honorable, you have integrity, you have committed, you know. I don't pick the phone up anymore because it's always some fucking demon over in fuck knows where trying to, you know, deceive me. I mean, I used to pick the phone up and give them a piece of my mind, but I don't do that anymore because I realise now that that's just not a form of loosh harvesting, you see, so fuck them. If it's important, they leave a message, you know what I mean? And actually, that's quite apt if you think about it. When it comes to people, we need to learn to do that as well. We need to learn. I need to learn this very much, I realise. This is something I'm learning. Is let them put their cards on the table, Anika. Don't get involved with people straight away. In fact, stop getting involved with people, because the right people for you will come to you. They will find you. We keep, because we feel very lonely, we feel very isolated, you know, it's very difficult. It's a little black pussycat. Oh, that is cool. So there's this lady with a little black cat taking it for a walk. Super cool. It's like you want to connect with like-minded, stupid fucking terminology, like-souled beings, and yeah. And you meet people online, or you meet people in your vicinity, and you know, oh yeah, let's, you know, and then it all goes tits up, and it really hurts, and it's really upsetting, and you blame yourself, you think you got it all wrong, but when you really stop and really think about it, you realise that actually, no, I didn't get it wrong at all, and I was spot on, and that's just not right, that's abuse, whatever, and then you have to walk away, and it's difficult, but there you go, and that's how it works. And these are not necessarily evil people, but they're not ready for you. They're not ready for you. Because you're here and they're there, and it's you're in different worlds, and you have different, you know, and they're not ready to own their shit and to take responsibility, and they don't have the courage and the integrity required to meet you, you know, because this world's done a number on us all, and we're all at different levels. Your intuition, your emotions will tell you, no, don't do this, don't go there, don't get involved, right? Or yes, get involved. But even then, something can start on this level, and you can go on for a bit, and it'll be good, and you both benefit from it, and then one of you will go up a notch or down a notch or whatever, and all of a sudden it's over, it's done, and that hurts, but I think that's par for the course. But for some of us, it's like, stop trying to find the others. Stop giving so much of yourself to others. Stop being the wounded healer. Stop. What are you doing? Now is the time to stop. Now is the time to take full responsibility for yourself. Now is the time to stop distracting from you. Now is the time to really come home to yourself. It's very difficult to put this into words. I wish I could put it into words, because I know it's very important and it's very big. The last few months have been very big in terms of major developments. So many fields have been, some of them painfully stripped away, like paint stripper. And the higher you go up the spiral path, the less you'll be able to fucking verbalize what's really, you'll get it, you'll understand it intrinsically, you will, but you'll not be able to put it into words. And that in itself feels isolating. I mean, I went to the health food shop, and I have a friend who works in there, and she's lovely, you know, really love her, she's a love. And she's such a courageous person. She's had a really shitty life, you know, horrible people, parents, absolutely appalling. But she's, you know, and she's doing the work. But she's not as far along as I am. And when you say that, immediately people will accuse you of narcissism and whatever, which is ridiculous, because when two people go on a journey, only one leaves 3 days later than the other one. And then the other one says, well, I've arrived at this point because this is how far I've travelled. It's like, oh, you're a narcissist. Well, you think you're better than me. And it's like, well, no, I just left 3 days earlier than you. That's it. That's all it is. No more, no fucking less. But, you know, some people, because again, that's woundedness, and that's like, they feel this about themselves. They feel their worthlessness. And they think you're telling them they're worthless by having left 3 days before they did. You know what I mean? It's not easy at all, guys. It's not easy at all. I may as well just say this, and it's the truth that, yeah, you're going to get hurt over and over and over again. And every time that you do, it's going to be a major trigger that will show you more about you, about what you need to look at, what you need to sit with, what you need to work through, what you're going to be healing in yourself, right? Some people immediately, when you come across them online or in your vicinity, will feel toxic and bad. It's like, I need to get the fuck away from you. Get away from me. Listen to that feeling and believe it and get away from them. You won't. You'll get involved and then you will work out that I should have listened to the Kismet spiral. Right? I have done this very recently as well. And already having said this to myself, this is a learning curve. You will make a mistake many times and then you will get it at some point and you won't make it anymore. You know? Simple. Difficult. Painful. But it's like that. You will meet it. That mechanism, that program, that, as you go up the spiral path. But eventually, okay, you're ready to completely leave it behind. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy, because you see, we're all fucking, it's done a number on us, all of us. You know, it really just has. Learning to really trust yourself and act based on your intuition and your emotions and trusting yourself. You know, most of us never done that really. We're not used to that, are we? It's very important. They'll tell you things like, oh, setting boundaries feels really good. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Setting boundaries feels really fucking shitty. The Matrix makes you feel like shit. People will make you feel like shit. You know? People that want to treat you badly and that want you to then take responsibility for that and say that you treated them badly, when in fact it was the other way around. You know, narcs do that, your parents did that, all that. Society always does that. Right? When you set boundaries, when you say no, when you disentangle, first of all, it's gonna feel really fucking shit. And all that weird adrenaline shit, and this, I can't rest, and I don't know if I feel so nervous all the time, and I can't sleep, and the anxiety. I mean, a friend of mine, he's a gardener, my friend, and he had this client, a hoarder, who was a fucking asshole. And he was, I think he's sold because I met him, and he seems, he's okay, but he isn't. He is, but he isn't. He's a hoarder, and that tells you everything you need to know about somebody. I'm not going to go into what that means, but I already know what that means. And he's manipulative, and he's a bit narky. He's a narcissistic personality. Sorry, but he is sold, and he is a normie, and he was all right over there, and then that day he was okay, and then he was all right, and la la la, but then he wasn't, and then he wasn't, and over there he wasn't, and then he began to outright take the piss. So my friend had to say, look mate, I'm not going to work for you anymore. So he did that, and whoa, the onslaught started almost straight away. You're a bad person, you are bang out of order, it's all your fault, he's a good guy, you're a bad person, blah 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 blah. Nervous, anxiety, sleeplessness, you name it, it's all there. Happens every time you set boundaries. You know, Mr. Matrix hates it when you empower yourself and when you set boundaries, when you start to fucking trust yourself, your gut instincts, your intuition, your magic, your power, your discernment, when you start acting on that more and more and more, gradually, baby steps, right? It doesn't like that at all, and it will kick the shit out of you. And you've got to carry on doing it anyway. Some think, oh, fuck that, no, I'll just go back to the distorted, hideously uncomfortable comfort zone, because that actually feels less bad. You never see it better, the best it will ever be is less bad than how I feel when I start to empower myself and say no and extricate myself from this distorted state that I've existed in this fucking insane asylum, right? You need to persist courageously, you know. Mr. Matrix will also obfuscate and this is the gaslighting side of things. When you're being manipulated and gaslit into taking responsibility for crimes you did not commit, you know. And again, normies can do this, because this client of my friend did that. He was a bit gaslighty, but he's not an inherently evil person. I know that. You see, do you see how complicated things are? You want to be able to say outright, narcissist, evil, demon, but it's not like that, guys. It's far more complex than that. You see, and it's that way for a reason. This way, it pits people against each other, souled people, all at varying stages of awakening, still full of crap, behaviorally all like, whoa, distorted and playing games. People play games, they can't own their shit, they're not ready to own it, they're not this, for that reason, whoa. It pits people against each other, there is always difficulty. Right? It's fucking exhausting. You get to a point where you think, somebody has to comment to that extent, I'm sick and tired of people. I just want a robot and a robot pizza. And I'm like, yeah, I get you. I hear you. Because it is fucking exhausting. And you've the rage that you feel, or the hurt that you feel, on top of all the shit you're already feeling and going through, mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically. Wow. It's like, you want to smash their head against the wall for hurting you, or for doing this, or for doing that, because it's like, well, I've done your garden for fuck knows how many years, and you treat me like this, and it's like, what it's really hard going. And so you have to work through that. We are working through so many different aspects of our healing, and if you really stop and pay attention, you realize how fucking magnificent and incredible you are. Think about what you've been doing, how committed you are. If you were anything less than a fucking soul traveler, this would fucking destroy you, you know. Do you have any idea how many people left, right and centre in the world right now are committing suicide, or are going out on some fucking rampage? You know? My friend in the shop, in the health food shop, she goes, people are coming in and they're so fucking aggressive and belligerent. You know? People that have had the jabberwoony, oh boy, they're fucking behaving very oddly, but then that's fully to be expected, you know what I mean? It's like the Borg with a really bad attitude. I mean, we are the most magnificent, courageous, incredible warriors of the light, guys, okay? And I know that sounds a little bit new agey and a little bit like, ooh, but I don't know how else to put it. It is what it is, right? Anyway, so to get back to where I started this video, people, demons, toxic people versus people that aren't even that awake yet, but somehow have this really warm, really kind energy that makes you feel safe, and you know you're safe with them, and time goes by and it turns out that yes, you are safe with them, They just don't hurt you. They don't fuck with you. They, I don't know, somehow, even though they're not very awake and they're not really doing any inner work, but they're good and they're kind. And they have that empathy. And they just, yeah, it's like, wow. Or people that are far more awake than that, yet have these really toxic traits that come out. And it's like, whoa, you know. Or you yourself, you realise, yo, ooh. And then you have to go and say sorry. It's really complex. But your intuition will guide you far, far better than the experts will. You know? And if you feel good and warm, even if somebody is not what you'd expect to get that warm, fuzzy feeling of, but it's there and it tells you, yeah, this is okay, this is good, then yeah, that's good. And you meet somebody that makes you feel like, whoa, get the fuck away from me. But it's like, well, why do I feel this way? They're really awake and, you know, like, whatever. But it's like, well, something ain't right. This is not right for you. And they might be perfectly lovely people, but they ain't right for you, so get the fuck away from them. And if you do get it wrong, and you will, you're going to get it wrong again and again and again until you don't. You just forgive yourself, you forgive yourself, and you forgive yourself, and you forgive yourself, and you forgive yourself. Because, you know, remember this, guys. All that anxiety and fear and adrenaline fueled, frittery, nervy, fucking, I need to eat something, I need to take something, I need something because I can't endure this anymore. This is the worst feeling I've ever had. It's horrible. I've been feeling it since yesterday. It's, where was I? Just before I said that? Oh, do you see what I mean? It's really, really tough feeling that way. But you'll get through it. You will get through it. Sorry, guys, I lost my thread there. So you will get through it. It actually is a very good sign because you are disentangling from a fake persona, from somebody you thought you were that you are fucking not. You're not that way at all. You are radiant, powerful, sovereign, beautiful, incredibly intelligent, incredibly smart, incredibly intuitive. You are it. You are the fucking Holy Grail. You are, and you deserve true well-being, which is nothing whatsoever like what you have lived, how you have thought, how you have behaved, how you have allowed others to behave toward you, how you, the whole fake persona thing, which is a mass thing. It's the status quo, fake persona. This is how we do things around here. We are batteries. Batteries are us. You know? I wrote down, I said stress. Because that's what it is, you see. It's like an implied threat. Every day, at every juncture, do as you're told. Be afraid. You have to be afraid. And you have to be transfixed, hypnotized, plugged in to this entire thing we laughingly refer to as reality, and believe it all, and watch Klaus Schwab and his chilling message. If anybody at this point still doesn't work out, this guy is not fucking real as an actor. I mean, that German accent is ridiculous. I've got a German subscriber, Tim. I'm sure you've realised this, well I hope you have, that this German accent is really not very good, yeah? What the fuck? I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, stress. It wants you to be in that state. Adrenaline is a fucking drug, guys. I wrote this down. Adrenaline is a drug. It is not normal, terrestrial, to our system as such, that is in the way that it presents. When you really stop and think about it, it has run like a river, toxic, sludgy, evil river throughout your life, your body, your glands, a lot of it, and it literally is a kind of it's evil. It now runs us like petrol runs a car. Adrenaline. Due to the severe demonic strain we exist under here, it works through our nervous system, fight or flight. We are continually in a fight or flight state. Oh, just watch a bit of David Icke. Fear, fear. There are people who are addicted to fear porn. They need it every day. They are adrenaline addicts. It's like nicotine, right? Heroin. They're addicts. They're junkies. It's a key component in the harvesting of loosh. We behave reactively towards our sadistic environment in order to, one way we do this, pacify, to feel calm again, or, it makes us addicts to a certain vibrational energy. Fear porn, doom porn. You need to watch this. Have you ever noticed how these videos always have a particular type of title? It's very clickbaity. Fear over here. Come and get your daily dose of fear. Yeah? Oh, the adrenaline. Oh, it feels good. Let's have another cup of coffee, right? I have 1 cup of coffee a day. Somebody have to comment saying, do you think that coffee will stop you from getting out of the matrix? I'm like, what? 1 cup of coffee a day. Right, coffee is actually very good for you in small amounts. Exposure to fear porn. You see, an implanted, programmed behavior. You see, the adrenaline addiction. It keeps us in line and hooked and producing loosh. Adrenaline fear junkies are great loosh producers for Mr. Matrix. Okay. The best and most potent loosh comes from the subconscious, right? A soul traveler increasingly, where you are, depending on where you are on the spiral path, early on, middle, anywhere in between, top, doesn't really matter. But increasingly you'll be more and more and more aware of, whoa, all your shadow, bullshit, fake persona, insanity, right? The more you heal, the better it is. Everything that emerges into the light of consciousness is really no good for loosh production. They can't use it anymore. Do you understand? So that is why they're so agitated now, because we've done so much healing work. It's like, oh, there's not much there left for us to hook into to get our loosh, The moment we are in awareness, it loses cohesion, as in the loosh loses cohesion. It's no longer very good for them. We are continually subjected to constant stress 24/7, because even when you're sleeping in your dreams, right? Always 24/7 in the room, 24/7, always. The daily hiccups too. Oh yeah, the obstructionism, right? Get back to that again, which is part of the stress. The the adrenaline. I can't sleep. I'm so nervous. I need to go and watch beer porn. Oh, it makes me feel a little better. Okay, Mr. Matrix, I'll be afraid. Okay, anything. Please don't make me feel bad. So have you noticed? There you are in the shower, and you get out and you pick up your towel and you put it around, and it just so happens that corner of it just goes into the bath, and you have to wring it out, and then there you are making your coffee. That cup just so happens to be in the way and shatters on the floor, and then you go over there and that just so happens to be in such a way that fucks you up. It's like running the hurdles at the Olympics. It's a bit like that, but sadistic, dark and sinister. The constant tiny little mishaps that happen throughout the fucking day. Now so more than ever before. I think I wrote that down. Massively ramped up now and no longer deniable. Most people are not aware of that. The normies aren't aware of that. They think that's normal, but it isn't normal. The normies think it's normal, but it isn't normal. It's actually done on purpose. It's like all the phone calls you get of these demons trying to sell you double glazing or sun solar panels, or telling you that you've won £500,000 and can we please have all your bank details and full name and address, please. Yes, all of that, right? Or it's like all the roadworks and all the demonic meth addict drivers, and it's like I went into the chemist this morning because I had to get some cream for a fungal infection, and which I've tried to treat with herbs, but it hasn't quite worked, so now I'm treating it with that as well as herbs, and that seems to be working very well, so that's great. But I go in there and I'm like, no, I don't want that one because that one's £8. I'll have the one that costs £4. Oh, okay. And then they're there with their false fake nails. These fucking demons love their false nails. How the fuck they wipe their ass after a shit, I do not fucking know, because they have talents like that, and it's like, how do you do that? You know, not to be gross, but really, one does wonder. Anyway, and they're all jabbering, and they're satanic, demonic, fucking, I don't know, probably talking bullshit about some soul person somewhere, you know. And I was like, yeah, hello? Oh, all right, yeah, we haven't got it. I'm like, yeah, of course not. Of course you don't. You know, and I felt like giving them a piece of my mind, but I thought, nah, fuck it again, because that is louche ultimately, you know. And you feel your bile, don't you? You wanna. I always imagine myself an invisible, you know, with an invisible double action pump shotgun or something, and just go, and just boom, just blow their fucking head off. Yeah, I wouldn't do it, not really. But yeah, that's it, because it's all done on purpose, guys. The continual obstructionism in the little things, like, you know, your towel just gets, you step out and you get entangled in a shower curtain and nearly fucking fall over and you know, whatever, break your fucking skull on the toilet or whatever, you know, or like it's, you turn the tap out on and really hot water comes out, and it's like, what the fuck, and it's something is wrong with the thing, and it's like, it's supposed to be cold water, but it's really, really hot and it burns your finger. Or like you're there trying to eat some toast and something, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, you know, you are not mistaken, it is happening, it is real, and it's just literally doing anything it can to harvest louche from the last remnants of fake persona, shadow self, torture, fucking programming, trauma, nasty bullshit, insanity that is left in you, that you're busy healing every day by doing the inner fucking work. Hey you, right? The constant rabbit push as well for us to please, to appease, to allow, to tolerate mistreatment, abuse, dishonesty, lack of integrity, gaslighty fucking garbage nonsense. And when you say no, like this morning, the onslaught, it was fucking bad. And I mean, I felt like shit, and it was all, you know, and it was like, you need to go and do this, and you need to go and watch that, and you need to and I tried to lie down and just breathe and drink little sips of water, which often helps me normally, but this time, no go. It's like, and I just kept saying no and letting go, no and letting go, no and letting go. You know? No. Favorite word of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year. The adrenaline is now being detoxed from our being. Adrenal exhaustion in brackets. So that is what you feel when you're just, when you feel like you're just going to collapse. It's like your mind is racing. None of these thoughts are your own. Cascade of toxic emotions, all of it. None of that really is your own. It's all trauma, toxic, sludge, fucking hell contagion. You know, the adrenaline is now being detoxed from our being, our system, inhibiting major impediments to louche harvesting, ergo attacks. That's when you get your demonic attack. So you get the jabberoonie, the Jabberwoony demons, you know, like Mr. fucking scumbag in the paint shop, just like, you know, and you get all the weird little obstructionism, like, ooh, yeah, ooh, you know, and even sold people can be hacked into, downloaded into, and used against you. It can hack into you and use you against you. Right? There you go. And it's fucking complicated. Obfuscated on purpose. Gaslighting nonsense. And yeah. Good stuff is happening, guys. So my advice to you would always be to tune in as much as you can to that which is good and pure and true within yourself, in nature, and that cafe lockout. Is it cafe lock out? I don't know. Anyway, go onto my community page and it's a link at the top. It's just a link. There's no pictures or anything. It says Rumble. You don't have to watch that at all, but you know, this is a guy, he's a normie, but he's a good person. And he's doing something good, and there are people awakening. Because somebody said to me the other day, oh, nobody's waking up, that's all bullshit, nothing is happening, ooh, negative, negative, negative. I won't be speaking to this individual again, because it's like, fuck off, and just fuck off. You know, go and sit in your dirty toilet and stink, but don't talk to me. Because I see people waking up all the time, and it's really quite incredible. And people that have been awakening, like myself, for years, are doing more and more of that exponentially. It's happening, something is happening, okay? And I'm not saying that, oh, we're gonna fix the world and make it a slightly better place. I'm not saying that. It's not fucking real, guys. There is a movie called Star Trek Insurrection that keeps coming back to me again and again and again, and I know it's relevant. It's about these people that have all this, that they don't really grow old, they're very creative, they have all this magic and all this power and all these abilities, right? Us, in our true form, majestic. But these other fuckers hate them and want what they've got. So they've built this is all in a nutshell, and there's far more to it than that, but they've built this ship with a holographic, you know, like the, what do you call, what is it they have in Star Trek? You know, the holosuites, right? Hello? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. It's a beautiful little black cat. What's with the black cats today? Anyway, to me, they're good luck, by the way. I love black cats. But, they've built this ship with this holographic suite on, and it looks exactly as the village of these magical people, and I want to take them away from there and put them on that ship and they have a way of doing that whereby they wouldn't even know, but of course they would be on that ship, and within a matter of days they would realize that, oh dear, what the fuck. But something like that has been done to us, I think. You know, it's far bigger than that, but so that film, that movie in Star Trek Insurrection keeps coming back to me again and again and again and again, and it's like, yeah. That is the reality that we are projecting with our misaligned consciousness, but our consciousness is healing. That's why it's chaos and everything is shifting and you know, and back into wholeness, you see. And well, it's so big and it's difficult, but we are reconquering the occupied territories, guys. And just because it doesn't look the way we want it to look doesn't mean we've lost, and it doesn't mean that evil's won at all. But when something is so fucked up and broken, you know, when a boil is that infected, it needs to be lanced and all that shit needs to be exposed. Do you see it now? Do you see it now? Do you see it now? Do you see it here? Do you see it there? Do we see it? Are we willing to walk this path? You know? Anyway, I think I'll call it a day because I've been rambling on forever and ever and ever, and You know, coming home to yourself is about re-establishing that vital connection with self. I trust myself and I will act on that trust more and more and more. And it will feel very, very, very uncomfortable because Mr. Matrix hates that sort of thing. And so, paradoxically, when you feel that way, you know you're on the right path. So you persist. And you do find gold again and again and again, guys. Alright? But then those of you walking the true path know that already. I don't need to tell you that. Okay? So find the light. Find the light and let it nurture you. Find the light in yourself when you walk your true path, when you trust yourself, when you trust your gut instincts, and let them tell you who to associate with, who not to associate with, who to let go of, who to get more involved with. But also, guys, remember, nobody can be unto you what you are meant to be unto yourself. And so for me, I need to stop getting involved with people, and I need to step back from some people that I have been involved with again. This is part of the course, and it doesn't mean that, you know, we don't care about these people. It doesn't mean that. They may see it that way, you know. And again, some Mr. Majors say, oh, you'll upset them and they'll be angry with you, and they say, well, no, I need to do what I need to do and I will do it, and that's that. These things happen and these choices have to be made. This pertains not just to people, but it pertains to certain foods we eat. It pertains to fucking clothes that we wear. It pertains to colours that we have on our walls. It pertains to every aspect of our life. All of it. There's been people that have been very close friends for years, many years, like 20 years, that I've had to let go of. You know? And it was difficult. But I had to do it. And every time you do, you'll get an onslaught because it wants you to stay trapped. But we are movers and shakers. You all know what to do. You are the living waters of life. You are a compass in of itself, and you know what to do. All my love to all of you.